How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And what about you?
I'm also doing great. Thank you so much for asking.
Okay. So, Neha, we are meeting first time. So, will you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Neha Mehra. Originally, I'm from Madhya Pradesh and I'm connecting to you from Ahmedabad, Gujarat, as my husband is working here. I have completed BTech from IT. I am a homemaker. I have one daughter. And if I talk about my hobbies, I love watching movies, cooking, sometimes reading, and nowadays my life goes around having conversations and watching conversation videos and listening to English podcasts. That's all about me.
Yeah, that's great. So, Neha, I have started a series for those who are just thinking about learning English, but they are not taking any steps towards their English. So, my question is that when did you think about learning English and how did you start your journey?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I'm always passionate about this language, but I didn't know that where to start, how to start, because I didn't have any environment. I didn't have any people surrounding me with whom I can converse in this language. So I only listen whenever I get time. I try to listen English content. But later on, I started my journey through audio calls. I used to connect with people on audio calls through different apps. Like I used Josh Talk app. So I used to connect with people on audio call through that app. But soon I realized that the people with whom I get connect, they are not that much serious about this language. Some of them are here for only time pass. So that was not that much helpful for me. So I could not consistent there. So I want to be consistent. Then when I was scrolling YouTube, I got to know about conversational videos. Then I knew there that there are many people who are learning this language through conversation because we do everyday conversation and those are really helpful for learners. So I also approached them and one of the YouTuber added me in Skype app. So from where, and it's been only 15 days when I started my journey having conversation with different kind of peoples, different co-learners, YouTubers and some of the trainers as well. So, and being a mother, I realized how important is this language because I really want to provide an environment for my daughter so she can also grow up in English learning environment. She doesn't face any difficulties in this language. So that's why I started my journey and I'm trying to improve myself.
That's amazing, Neha. So, as like the like according to me, like how did you start first? What was the first step? Like sometimes we are learning grammar. Okay, grammar is important for speaking, but sometimes we are watching TV and English content that helps us a lot. Or apart from that, nowadays conversational videos. So, how do you learn from conversational videos?
Yeah, as I told you that I used to listen English content, so I can understand very well English and I can read and write as well. But speaking is completely different. So for speaking, I need to speak. So as I can understand, but when I get chance to connect with people and speaking, so I started speaking. I don't much focus about grammar and all. I just started speaking and I'm speaking. But yeah, simultaneously I'm also working on my grammatical parts because it is also helpful. So I also, whenever I make mistakes, whenever I make any grammatical mistakes, so I try to watch particular grammar videos and improve my grammar as well.
That's awesome. Okay, so what would the challenges in your initial stage you faced? First step.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, there are many challenges I'm still facing. Like if I want to watch English news, so I am not able to understand. So I need to watch sometimes subtitles. I need to read subtitles. And if I would try to watch any native speakers video, so they speak in a very speed way. So sometimes it is so difficult to understand what they are saying. So I try to read the subtitles. After then I can understand what they are saying. So it is really challenging, and they use some advanced kind of vocabularies. So in that case also I need to inculcate more vocabularies. So vocabulary is also challenging for me. So
Yeah,
I'm learning gradually.
that's great. That you are speaking very well, Neha. So I appreciate this. Okay, so how do you learn vocabulary as well?
Actually, I'm not focusing much on vocabularies. I try to inculcate more vocabularies. So whenever I find any word, uh, so I write it down that word. Then I try to use that word in sentence. But as I'm speaking to you, and I'm speaking very basic language. I'm not using any advanced kind of vocabularies. But yeah, I need to inculcate vocabularies, and I try to write sentences using that vocabulary, and I try to speak those sentences in that vocabulary included.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so like daily, how many conversations do you have? And apart from this conversation, how do you practice?
Yeah, actually, I have a daughter, so I don't get much leisure time because she's only 2 years old. So whenever she's asleep, only that time I try to connect with people. So I try to connect at least two co-learners, so I can maintain my consistency in speaking. And whenever I get time, I try to listen more and more. And sometimes I also talk with myself in English, because it's really good that I could speak even though if I don't have any partner. So I thought, let's speak with ourselves. So I also try to speak with myself. Yeah, that's all.
It's amazing, Neha. So, last but not the least, like, do you have any words to encouragement for others who are just embarking on their journey, but they are not taking any step towards their English? Like being a homemaker, there are so many homemakers. They are just thinking, okay, tomorrow I will do it. I don't have sufficient vocabulary. I don't know how to speak. So, any tip or any encouragement words for them?
Yeah, actually, I also procrastinate things initially. But nowadays it is become a symbol of like identity. If we are good in English, if we speak good English, so it is impressive. It enhances our overall personality. So I think if we are homemakers, so it doesn't mean that we should not upgrade ourselves. We should upgrade ourselves, and we should do something better in our future, better to grow in our future, because we don't want that English become hurdle in our success. So if we inculcate any skill in ourselves, so it will be helpful to grow in our future, to grow in our career. So I would really want to say every homemaker that we should come out from our comfortable zone, and we should learn something different. And English nowadays is very important. It is a global language, so we should, if we are educated, so we should speak in English. So yes, that's
Yeah.
yes.
That's great and amazing tips that you have given in this conversation. That English is must nowadays, and if you want to build your confidence, if you want to improve yourself, enhance your personality as well, so English is must, and simultaneously you can improve your income source as well. Yeah. So nice to talk to you, Neha, and thank you for giving me your valuable time. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for having with me.